All right, so today we want to continue our gist on sex, anxiety, and sex. We're talking about performance anxiety the other day with respect to men. So if you missed the men part, don't worry, just keep a tab on my YouTube channel. The information will come to you. Now just keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. I tell you, in the end, you'll get results. You'll be part of those testifying. But for those who wants to conceive and you're not ready to lift a finger, how else can we help you? Right? How else can we help you? We make the information available on live stream. You don't join the live stream. We will give you a practical guide which costs almost nothing. You still do not download it. Right? We say okay, go and knock with no good. You still will not knock with no good. How can we help you? How else can we help you? How else? Because everything is available. You're just holding yourself back. So, anyway, we'll continue because we know that there are those who are willing, there are still in there are billions of people around the world, and some of them are willing to do what it takes. And that's why they are being exploited. Nobody will exploit you here. Is that okay? We'll just tell you the truth. Then you go and do what you want to do. So Wednesday we talked about male anxiety and sex. So today we will talk about female anxiety and sex. And if you understood anything we were talking about, on Wednesday, one thing is sure that the male and female anxiety, well, anxiety is anxiety, but the response is different, right? The response is different. Women experience a different set of responses, right? But equally important, right? So, but most importantly, female sexual functions depends on the interactions of these few things. Things like hormones, very key, blood flow, just like man, emotional safety. Yeah, that's why women are unique. Emotional safety. Because for women to not go to no good, they want to be sure they are emotionally safe, right? Emotional safety, nervous system regulation, just like men. The relationship factor, how strong or weak, or what is the purpose of the relationship. So these are the things that um, these are the interactions that female sexual functions depend on heavily, right? And unfortunately, anxiety can influence all these things I just mentioned. Anxiety can, right? So we would look at the issues blow by blow, one after the other. If you're here, tap on your screen, share the live. If you're in the FYP, drop in or continue to scroll. We're getting to a day and time where we don't beg people to get information. You should be paying for it. But when you get it for free, you don't do shakara. Alright, so I have this thing disturbing me around here. Okay, so where was I? So let's start from the very beginning. Let's start with how anxiety affects female desire, right? How anxiety affects female desire. Now remember, time and again. Hey, Dr. Alero is here. Hello, good evening. Good to see you. Hope you're good. Right. So remember, time and again, I will say everything about reproduction begins from the mind, from the head, right? Not just the mind, the head, right? So instead of disturbing yourself, oh, excellent, that's good. Instead of disturbing yourself, worrying about what goes on down there, you should be worried about what is going on up here. If you can get into the person's head, you have gotten into everything, right? All right. So I said all that before. But now, when the brain is occupied, remember today we're talking about women, so leave men out of the gist. So when the brain is occupied by the worry for pregnancy, financial concerns, fertility disappointments that has happened year in, year out, or even relationship stress, because that's what infertility will do to relationship. When the brain is occupied with all these troubles, sexual desire begins to decline. Go and ask those that are trying to conceive. I'm not talking about those who are still doing their shakara all over the place. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about those that are actively trying to conceive, right? And they genuinely have these worries, pregnancy worries, financial concern, fertility disappointments, and of course the strain that comes with what is common? What is the common denominator for them? Sexual desire declines. Remember where we started? What does the body perceive when you are in this kind of thing? The body perceives that you need to survive first, right? But leave all that. If you missed it, you go and catch up with the last episode. Right? So this sexual the desire that declines does not necessarily mean that the attraction is gone. Yeah? No. It only means that the brain is prioritizing your survival over your sexual interests.
Good evening.
Right? And of course, I was giving you a very extreme example of how that you see in American movies. Some you have two lovebirds in a plane that is about to crash, and they are making out. Even when the plane crash, they are still making out. They landing on the ground, and they are still knocking waiting no good, right? all that is Hollywood. It does not work that way. It does not work that way. Why? Because the slightest perception of stress, the body interprets it as danger. And when that signal of danger is perceived, the body now will shut down every other desire and enter survival mode. Right? So that's the issue. Now, this is how I think we should talk about it. We should talk about how anxiety affects arousal. Remember, I'm talking about only women. I've talked about men. So how does anxiety affect arousal? Please stop on your screen if you're here. Share the live. Call those you think will need the information. Oh boy, it's a very short live stream, so we will be gone soon because today is Friday. We need to close quickly so that everybody can go and knock with no good. Thank God it's Friday, Black Friday for knocking. Oh boy! All right, so how anxiety affects arousal, right? But remember that Arousal involves blood flow change, vaginal lubrication, neurological signals, right? The nerves need to send some message up and down, right? So, female arousal involves these three important things. But when the woman is anxious, right? Anxious would mean maybe she has some financial concern, right? I know, right? So maybe she has some financial concern, or maybe her relationship is stressed. Maybe infertility is a problem, right? Maybe she has several fertility disappointments and pregnancy worries, right? Now, all that is interpreted as anxiety. Thank you very much, Strict Character. Strict Character is here. Thank you for the roses. If you're just joining, you're welcome. Thank you for the roses. Right? So now, I mentioned that arousal in female involves blood flow change, vaginal lubrication, neurological signal. But when there is anxiety, maybe because of pregnancy worries, maybe because of disappointment that came from failed fertility plan, maybe because of financial or stress that is coming from relationship strain, that anxiety may affect the processes that I mentioned earlier. Some women will notice this. They will notice reduced lubrication, right? Of course, because they are stressed out. Their mind is not in the how do they used to speak that English now? Their mind is not in a safe place. I don't know how they used to say it. But their mind is not there. So lubrication, natural lubrication, I mean, becomes a problem. You can see how anxiety can affect lubrication. Right? Reason why some people will be asking, do I need to use lubricants? Well, I've told you, if you're trying to conceive, I've already told you the type of lubricants that are necessary. So if you like, go and buy anyone in the market that you see. There are lubricants that are fertility friendly, so look for those ones. Anyway, so women will notice reduced natural lubrication. Some will have difficulty. So the difficulty actually is this thing I'm talking about. And majority of working class women are in this category. Majority of women that have fertility challenge for a very long time, they are in this category. They will not tell you what I'm telling you because it's true, right? So they have difficulty in becoming aroused, and they think that there's something is wrong with them, or maybe they are growing old. Knacking is not their problem. Knacking is your problem, but just that you are stressed, you are full of anxiety, right? Now, the Oga Patapata of them all is the increasing discomfort during intercourse. It's not supposed to be so. It was not always so. But the stress that comes from all these things I mentioned is now making it this way, and you think it's normal. It's not normal, right? It's not normal because you go ahead, it will cause. It may even create a cycle where pain will lead to anxiety, and anxiety now will lead to more pain. Now you say, this knocking with no good that doctor keeps talking about is not for me. You hang your boots. Well, it's for you. You need therapy. You need therapy. You need to be. We need to talk to you, right? So if knocking with no good is a problem for you, you need therapy, right? So contact us for for therapy. We will help you. Is that okay? Right. And one of the most common experiences among those that are trying to conceive is, and I've seen that it's very sad, but it's true. Those who only, they're couples, loving couples, but now they're only having sex only because it's ovulation time. That passion, that intimacy has faded away because it's now becoming a routine. The hope and expectation that they started with has dwindled, right? So that is the most common experience among those that are trying to conceive. There are those who will tell you, I've heard that 1 million times already. They've lost the spontaneity that comes from being together. What used to be a spontaneous action, right? What used to be a spontaneous action now it has become locomotive. Nobody's interested anymore. Everybody go your way, do your own thing. I don't care. No, don't get there. Don't get there. Right? So that can happen. That can happen when people are trying to conceive for a very long time. So that interest is lost. That connection, the intimacy is lost. Good evening, Andy Love. You're welcome. Right? For some, every encounter now becomes like as though you are you have to have an encounter because your fertility app says so. Why? Because the target is, when are we going to do this thing and we get the result of becoming pregnant, right? That can be very tiring. Or your ovulation strip says today is the day, right? Yeah, Dr. Alero, that's what it is. It's just to conceive. So the passion is lost. The connection that comes with knocking waiting no good is lost. And now nobody's interested in anything anymore. Right? And they will sincerely tell you that they love themselves, right? They do. They would. But the problem is that this fertility journey has become pressure, a thing of pressure. There's so much pressure on that relationship because that expectation is not being realized. And somebody has actually asked that question before, that can this anxiety affect ovulation? But again, before you answer that, you must be able to look at where the balance is, because some physical stress and some extreme psychological stress can actually influence reproductive hormones. So if you were here when we're talking about ovaries and stuff and hormones and stuff, you understand what I mean. Yeah, stress can affect your hormonal balance, affect your ovulation, right? So anxiety in itself indirectly will do the same thing, right? Will do the same thing. But remember, when you are anxious or when your body perceives anxiety as stress, it switches to survival mode. Therefore, it will rather prioritize you surviving than your reproductive function, right? So yes, it can, but remember again that there are those who may not necessarily, maybe by reason of their, what do you call it now, occupation. Remember those, there are some who are into athletics, right? They will go through rigorous athletic training. That will impact, that will, the body will interpret that as stress and suspend for the moment fertility. Yeah, those who have severe emotional stress, the body will interpret that as as survival threats, then suspend fertility. Even major illness, the body can interpret as major threats, and you switch you to survival mode, because the person where they alive now is supposed to born, right? Now stress, I've said it 1 million times, can delay your ovulation, swing your ovulation, or even suspend it altogether. That's what stress will do. Yes, stress can do that. So what do you do when you love? Make sure you catch enough rest. At least you know what the problem is. It is only when you don't know what the problem is, that's when you become confused. So what do you do? Catch enough rest. Martha is here. So ovulation may be delayed or disrupted due to stress. That's what I was trying to say. Right? So just a quick note. Just a quick note. Your everyday activity does not, which can be said to be stress in itself, does not consistently stop ovulation anyway in majority of women. So the relationship between anxiety and ovulation is actually a complex discussion. I'm just trying to give you the periphery so that at least you adjust your lifestyle to maximize your success. Is that okay? But there are several myths out there. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my eyes now. Like say my village people, they don't show. When people are trying to conceive, especially when you are like 1 year plus. Some people just tell you that, don't worry, just relax. Just relax, you will get pregnant. That sounds like a good thing to say, right? But the problem is that kind of statement can oversimplify your predicament, right? Because you cannot advise somebody to relax when they don't know their tubal status, right? They don't know the man may not even know his status. What is his sperm count or motility and all those semen analysis gist, right? So they cannot relax. What do we say? Early testing will save you time, and you will not be wasting your time and eventually wasting your money. And remember, for every time you waste, you're actually cutting down your treatment options because of the age factor that comes with it. So when are you supposed to get evaluated today? Go and meet your doctor. Hold your doctor by the leg, right? Get evaluated. Why? Because the longer you wait, the fewer the treatment options that is available to your case. So get evaluated today. You cannot relax when you don't know your tubal status or the male factor, right? To relax will not cure the male factor, if there is a male factor, right? Endometriosis does not vanish because you are relaxing. right? So be smart. But long story short, stress management can actually help your can support your overall well-being, and that is the key, right? That is the key. And for the past few days, I've been posting some videos to advise you. So we want to make sure you watch those videos and take decisive actions if you are trying to conceive, right? All right. So I know some a few people have one or two questions. You want to ask the question shortly, right? But one of the things that will help a lot of couples that are trying to conceive is communication. Learn to communicate, right? You want to talk about your fears, talk about your expectations, and even your frustration. Do you know that some people are feeling as though the whole burden is on them? Most women that are trying to conceive will agree with me. Sometimes you just feel like, it's like my partner is not supporting this journey, right? But on the partner side, he's feeling like he's doing everything he knows to do. So that's why you need proper communication, talking honestly, right? Talking honestly. Don't allow frustration ruin your chances of conception, because majority of the people are just suffering ignorance, not necessarily because there was something wrong, right? So if you don't communicate, there's going to be you're going to worsen the problem, right? And also protect your uh, non-fertility intimacy. What do I mean by that? That you are trying to conceive does not mean that you not waiting no good only because you want to conceive, right? So what you want to do, have a healthy knacking lifestyle. Is that okay? That is key. That is beneficial. Yeah. So don't allow your intimacy stop at trying to conceive. Why? Because if that happens, your relationship may begin to have some issues. So you want to protect your intimacy regardless of whether the pikin come or no come, right? Why? Because in the end, if you have a very healthy, intimate lifestyle, before long you are very close to your result. If you don't have any medical condition, why? Because you are going to be making all the biological environment um, uh, good enough for pregnancy to occur, and also maintaining emotional connections, which is very key. Helen James is here. Helen James, good evening, good to see you. If you're just joining, you're welcome. Please tap on your screen, share the live, share the live. And when anxiety becomes overwhelming, do not be slow to seek counseling, right? Because we see this over and over again. Go and seek counseling, right? You need therapy, and of course your doctor will direct you on where to go, or if they render those services, they'll give it to you. So don't just sit down and assume that you will wait it out. You cannot wait it out, right? So make sure you seek professional support, and that will be a very valuable tool in your journey. But most times, like somebody said, the moment patients stand in front of their doctors, everything they have to say will just vanish in their head. Why is it so? Learn to interact, right? Your doctor is there to help you. So, having said that, I will take some questions now. But remember that even if you are dealing with healthy couples, it will still take a few months before they eventually conceive, right? So don't say because I'm healthy, therefore the moment I knock, I'll get pregnant. It does not work that way, right? And that does not make you a failure. It's just what biology is, right? In a single cycle, you have a 25% chance, 25 to 26% chance, right, of conception. So that means the more you try across the cycle, the higher the chances of conception. I think you try for 12 months, you have an 85% chance of conception for healthy couples. So what does that tell you? If this cycle fails, try the next cycle. If the next cycle fails, try the next cycle. So long as you don't have any medical condition that needs to be addressed. Is that okay? So please don't allow anxiety affect your desire, your arousal, your joint Thomas from standing up, and even your frequency of knocking with no good. Don't allow it. Right? So be in a safe place and go for therapy if you need one. Is that okay? So that is what it is. So let's answer some questions before we go. I told you it's going to be very short tonight. It's going to be very, very short tonight. If you have a question, let's answer you. If you have a concern or you have a testimony, because I have some people, their testimony has made them not to come to the live stream again. God has done it, right? Thank you very much. Time to tell a story is here. Thank you very much. Thank you. So if you are trying to conceive, you're welcome. Go and download the preconception blueprint from my bio. So you see the link there, tap on it, download it, and learn how to prepare your body for conception. So if you have a question, let's take your question before we go.